What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So I want to talk about this colorism confession that Bill Duke made. All right. So the actor Bill Duke was on Vlad TV, and some people have, took some issues with that. Had Bill having this conversation on Vlad TV's platform. And that is definitely a conversation worth having. Um, and a conversation definitely deserving of its own video. All right. In this video, though, I want to just talk about Bill Duke's colorism confession that he made in the Vlad TV interview. All right. So he said that he didn't want to have children, and he didn't have children because he was afraid that they would come out dark skinned, and he didn't want them to go through what he went through as a dark skinned person, dark skinned man in society. And, you know, generally speaking, is this news? In a way it is, in a way it isn't. And I'll explain. In a way it isn't because, well, we kind of already picked up on that. Generally speaking, not speaking about Bill, but generally speaking, when it comes to like some of these brown skin and dark skin black men, we've already kind of just picked up on that. But it's a bit news because he forewent. He didn't have kids altogether. He just opted out of having kids altogether. Versus usually the dudes would go for someone who's on the lighter side of the spectrum, or either just go all the way white with it, right? Which I'm a bit surprised that he didn't just do that. Just go all the way white with it and just have some mixed biracial children, you know. And he's old enough to that his kids would have been a part of the black community anyway, because the biracial term wasn't, up and running back then. It was just everything that's one drop is considered black, right? And then some people speculating perhaps there's something a bit more to it that why he didn't have kids, perhaps, But, as far as this colorism conversation is concerned, this, these are factors, these are the reasons why, per him, And also, as I said, generally speaking, is this news? Not really, not really. The thing is, he just said it with words instead of action. So that's kind of news. Someone just coming out and saying it, right? Versus people just having to interpret it from your actions, right? And I also have to bring this up, but folks gonna get mad at me and gonna be feeling some type of way about me bringing this up. But I'm just gonna bring it up. I'm just gonna bring it up. All right. Why don't we ever hear light skinned mixed and biracial men saying fuck shit like this? We considering things in the community, perhaps it would make a bit more sense. Again, you don't really tend to hear this type of talk coming from mixed biracial men for some reason. Like, oh, I don't want no dark. I don't hear a mixed biracial man saying they don't want no like light skinned mixed biracial child. I don't really even hear them saying they don't want a brown or dark skinned child either. As a matter of fact, we typically hear more light-skinned mixed biracial women saying this type of fuck shit about, having these sort of like skin tone preferences for their children, right? Like, oh, she wants a chocolate baby. Like, what the fuck is a chocolate baby? Tell me, please someone explain to me what the fuck is a chocolate baby. But yeah, you hear light-skinned mixed biracial women engaging in this type of fuckery more so, right? And I just find that to be a bit interesting too. Because as quiet as it's kept, they be feeling like, oh, I went through hell being a light-skinned woman. How, or a mixed or biracial woman. I don't want my kids to go through that, So they will find the darkest men and have kids with sometimes. Sometimes that's a thing. Sometimes that happens, right? You know, biracial mixed light-skinned women being weak. That's definitely, you know, nothing new. They've always been like that. All right. But on to the next thing. So now we got super big black fat mammies to the rescue. Well, they might not be fat, but super big black mammies to the rescue, right? Strong, or should I say, strong, independent knights in shining armor in the black community. They love coddling like brown skin and dark skinned black men when shit like this happens. Woo woo woo. Aww. Right? Like that's their ultimate goal in life. Their reason for existing. This is how they get validation because their looks don't get them anything. Without this, their lives would have no meaning, no purpose, or no point. So they got to do this. All right. All right. But I do want to bring up something. All right. What if a dark-skinned woman like, say, Whoopi Goldberg said this? Would black people be so empathetic and sympathetic? I just want you to think about that for a moment. If Whoopi Goldberg said something like this, or Serena Williams said something like this, or Leslie Jones, etc. Just insert a dark-skinned woman into the mix and saying something like this. Would there be empathy and sympathy for her? Or empathy and sympathy for her? Would there? I'm for some reason I don't think it would go down the same way. Some reason I feel like they will put the blame on her, while in Bill Duke's case they'll try and put the blame on his black mama or some shit. Which in Bill's defense, he didn't throw anybody under the bus. He didn't say that, oh, my black mom said this, or like, oh, these black women treated me like this. He didn't really throw anybody under the bus. So I'll give him kudos for that, because a lot of times these niggas want to throw folks under the bus. Not to say that folks don't have blame or culpability in it, but I just, it's a little interesting how some folks will assign blame and culpability primarily to, their brown skin, dark skin, black moms, but not assign any culpability to their brown skin, dark skin, black fathers, or their mixed biracial light skinned mothers or fathers. All right. But notice, people will be empathetic and sympathetic to a Bill Duke, a Matthew Knowles, a Glock 9. Hell, even Kodak Black got some empathy and sympathy, believe it or not. So I'm saying all this to say this. Be careful not to give too much sympathy and empathy to brown skin and dark skin black men's colorism struggles and colorism plights, okay? Because they will play your ass, all right? They will play the fuck out of your ass when you do that. There's no, I'm about to go on to the next thing. But let me kind of elaborate a bit on this more before I move on to the next topic, all right? So for some reason, I think the sympathy, empathy trigger, if you want to call it that, is not as strong when it's a black woman for some reason. A brown skinned, dark skinned black woman. And she's talking about her colorism plight and her colorism struggles. It doesn't seem as strong. But when it's a brown skinned or dark skinned black man talking about his colorism plight or struggle or whatever, oh, it's just empathy and sympathy all of a sudden that the community can muster up. Right? And that's just extremely funny right there. It's like, wow, so folks really cared all of a sudden now, right? Oh, we care about colorism now. Oh, it's not just, you need to have self-esteem. It's not just, oh, you need to get validation from within now. And that's funny too, how things switch up and change. Again, don't get played. All right, don't let these motherfuckers play you. All right, because what will happen is you give all this sympathy and empathy in situations like this, but then when the situation comes up and you kind of need some sympathy and empathy, it ain't there. They ain't got it for you, and you feeling some type of a way about that, and you and your feelings about that, because like, well, what about me? When you need someone to be there for you, and you need someone whose shoulder you can lean on, and maybe even cry on. It ain't there for you. So again, be careful. All right, don't set yourself up for another L. Also, I kind of want to jump back onto this subject. I had posed the question, what the hell is a chocolate baby? All right. There's no such thing as a chocolate baby. All right. There's no such things, or no such thing as chocolate babies. Okay. Your baby is not chocolate. Your baby is brown skin / dark skin. All right. And honestly, I'm thinking, dude, these women probably just want, chocolate sons anyway. They want to be in line with the agenda in the black community. So they'll make sure to, get themselves, their dark skin, brown skin sons, right? And, low key, this kind of comes off as some sort of a weird pedophilic fetish towards them anyway. But that's cool, right? That's okay. All right. Whatever. Right. But wait a minute, though. Isn't that fetishization? Isn't that supposed to be a bad thing? Right? That's the thing, too. It's like, on one hand, it's like, oh, fetishization is wrong. Right? We shouldn't fetishize people, our kids and babies. Right? Really, it's a bad thing only if you feel a hit to your side, right? Only if you ain't the preference or the fetishization. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. That's the thing too. It's like we gotta stop with the hypocrisy and shit. All right. Are skin tone preferences for children okay or not? We gotta think about that. Is it okay for us to have skin tone preferences for our children? What if our children don't come out the skin tone that we want them to come out? Is that okay? Like, should we be upset with our children, ourselves, or whoever because that happened? Right? Then I'm going to pose the question: are skin tone preferences for people we have relationships with okay or not? Because I feel like folks are going to be kind of flip-flopping on this. They're going to be like, oh, well, skin tone preferences for children, we shouldn't have them. Unless it's me. Unless I'm the preference. I like children who look like me. Then, for skin tone preferences for a relationship, that's well and good if they look like me. Right? Right. But I'll say this. Whatever your answer is, it needs to be consistent. If you have the skin tone preferences for children, have them for adults. If you don't have them for children, don't have them for adults. It's a bit strange because on one hand, your skin tone preference led you to this adult and you had this child with this adult. But then it's like, oh, you can't have a skin tone preference for the kid. So it's like you got to pick one or the other. You can't be flip-flopping all around this, that, and the third when you're feeling a little hit to your side. Fetishization and preferences can't be okay when you the preference, right? When you ain't the preference, then it ain't okay, right? Again, just whatever you do, just be consistent with it. You got to go all the way with it. Don't be trying to switch it up again when it's in your favor, right? When you feel you can benefit from it in some way, right? Again, that's why the community's so fucked up right now. because it's bullshit that you guys want to engage in. Y'all motherfuckers want to be so damn superficial, and then wonder why the community is so fucked up when you ain't putting value on anything that's worth putting value on, that you should put value on. You more interested in having a damn chocolate baby than having a healthy baby. Shit, I ain't never heard none of these women or whoever say that shit. So that's right there. You're already seeing what folks are placing value on, right there. All right. So next, I kind of want to talk about this is a different subject, but I want to include this in this video because it kind of all ultimately circles back around. All right, but I want to talk about this Michael Blackson situation here. And someone had sort of showed me this and told me about this. But Michael Blackson was recently on social media trolling black women with a post calling his white girlfriend, or whoever, I'm assuming it's his girlfriend, a black queen on social media. Right? And, I don't know if black women were outraged or not. I'm not sure. But, some black women probably did take a bit like offense to that. But right here, right now, see how easy it is for these niggas to just give up and throw away the black female's identity and position. Notice that. Right? Oh, it's just a joke. Oh, But it's like, as we know, there's truth in jokes. So that's something to think about too. Right. All right. But Michael Blackson's real black queen was his ex-girlfriend, Georgia Rain. Right. She was and is everything that many of these lame brain black men here claim that they want from black women. That they claim they want, right? She's a brown skin and dark skin, a black woman. She wears her natural hair in shape, embraces her natural African beauty. She ain't on no hoe shit, as far as I know. She has a career of her own. She even helps Michael Blackson with his 2 kids. That's not hers, right? Even forgave him and took him back after he cheated. All right. So black women, all right, let Georgia Rain's experience be a lesson and cautionary tale for you. All right. There's nothing you can do to help these niggas because it's not you. It's them. They're not doing all of this because of who you are. They're doing all of this because of who they are. Because they have some sort of an issue, some sort of inadequacy issue within themselves, So therefore, that all being said, if they want to leave, they're gonna leave. Okay, it ain't nothing that you can do to stop them. All right. So stop, going crazy, thinking everything is your fault when shit ain't your fault. And shit ain't your fault, but you still blaming yourself that shit's your fault. Because it's just like, what else can you do at this point? Again, you can come 100% correct like Georgia Rain did and still end up in the same fucked up position as, as if you didn't come correct. Right? Heck, even look at Beyonce. Shit. Beyonce got cheated on by Jay-Z. Like, what reason was there for that? Again, I'm not in their relationship. I don't know. I don't really want to know, but I'm just saying. And besides, y'all already know that white woman he's with is going to either turn up pregnant so she can get a nice decent child support check, or accuse him of rape. One of the two. All right. And then they're gonna want to, if he gets accused of rape, then he gonna want to come run back and seek the real black queen support. He ain't gonna be chasing after these white Nubian silicone queens or whatever you want to call them. He gonna be chasing after the real black queens to come support him. So he know what's up. He know what's up. When shit go down, they know who to run to. They know who to go to. They know that those quote unquote black queens he talking about on social media ain't gonna do shit for him. What they gonna do? They know them white women ain't gonna do shit for him. But just don't be stupid and wanting to play super big black mammy to this nigga when he get caught up. Nuh-uh. Because I already know some black women gonna jump to the rescue and want to play super mammy to this Negro. So you gotta stop supporting fuck shit, or else you're gonna. If you keep supporting fuck shit, that's all you're gonna get is fuck shit. It's like, well, if that's what you want, then they'll give that to you, because it seems like that's what you want. So why change it up, right? And as well, just use these folks to make an example out of. Like, hey, when you fuck with the black queens, this is what's going to happen to you. You're going to lose our support. So that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.